Hey everybody, HomeSliceHenry here, and in today's video we're going to be taking a look at some very cool battles in the Open Ultra League featuring an unexpected core breaker, XL ALOLAN RAICHU. These battles were submitted to the channel by a member of the community, so many thanks for the battle submission. Now, ALOLAN RAICHU is an electric and psychic type Pokemon, and this trainer is running Volt Switch, Thunder Punch, and Psychic with the moveset. And they pair it up with a rollout Miltank on the lead and a Deoxys, and honestly have some nice results with the team. So without further ado, let's hop into the matches and check out ALOLAN RAICHU spicing up the Ultra League. Hopping into the first match, picking up a very neutral lead, Miltank into Shadow Ampharos. Miltank staying in this matchup and going for the Body Slam as soon as it gets it. Body Slam will get some solid chip damage onto the Shadow Ampharos. Ampharos farming up, returning fire. They did not build up to the Focus Blast, so this is a very comfortable no shield for the Miltank. Miltank throws one rollout and the Body Slam, firing this charge move on perfect timing. Body Slam is going to connect. We see Ampharos returning fire with the Thunder Punch. Now Thunder Punch is going to connect. We see a pivot into the ALOLAN RAICHU. ALOLAN RAICHU looking for the farm down, but Ampharos will not leave without one final charge move, and it's the Brutal Swing. ALOLAN RAICHU gets the farm down. Opponent sends in Jellicent, and they are so weak to RAICHU in the back if this is their best option. Thunder Punch is going to connect. RAICHU farming up and firing off another Thunder Punch, putting pressure on that final shield from the Jellicent. Jellicent is gonna no shield. Jellicent firing off a charge move. We see a shield from the RAICHU. Jellicent only went for the Surf. RAICHU farming up, switching into the Miltank to absorb a Surf. Very nicely done. And now back in comes the RAICHU. RAICHU at the back-to-back Thunder Punches, but the opponent makes a nice switch. But they switch in a Talonflame, and that is not a response to ALOLAN RAICHU. ALOLAN RAICHU firing off the Thunder Punch, grabbing the shield. ALOLAN RAICHU cannot make the last-second Thunder Punch, but either way, it should not matter because Deoxys can close this game. They go for the Flame Charge here. Opponent farming up. This could be enough for the Brave Bird, but this is not going to be enough to KO. XL Deoxys is simply too tanky. In comes the Jellicent, and that's going to be game over. Deoxys makes the Thunderbolt, taking down the Jelly, and securing the win. Moving into the next match, picking up a fairly neutral lead, Miltank into Shadow Ace/Slash. Now, Miltank, I believe, does have the edge in the 1 and the 2 shield just due to its pacing, but Ace/Slash can actually emerge victorious in the zeros. Miltank is going to no shield as the Drill Run is fired by the Ace/Slash. Ace/Slash is entirely reliant on its charge moves here, as of course the Shadow Claws are going to be double resisted. Miltank able to grab an early shield from the opponent and get a rollout for free as well. Sandslash fires off another Drill Run. Miltank continuing to overfarm and going for the Body Slam. Body Slam will be no shielded by the Ace/Slash. Miltank at 2 more Body Slams, putting so much pressure onto the Ace/Slash. Ace/Slash is going to no shield. Ace/Slash firing off a charge move, and we're going to see a no shield from the Miltank here. Ice Punch not going to KO. Going for the Body Slam, opponent tries to go for the Water Gun Snipe, but they are unsuccessful, and the Tapu Fini will be met with the Deoxys. So this is a bit of an interesting call, anticipating that a lot of teams are Ace/Slash double water, so saving the RAICHU for what should be a final water type in the back. Deoxys able to tank the charge move, firing off the Thunderbolt, and we see the no shield from the Tapu Fini. Tapu Fini makes the last second charge move, but this is not going to be enough to KO the Deoxys. Deoxys able to withstand the Surf and get the counter down. Opponent still has the Ace/Slash, and they're sending it in. Ace/Slash will be greeted with a Thunderbolt. Only 1 shield remaining for the opponent. They're not going to use it here in the back. It's Golisopod, and Golisopod will be answered by ALOLAN RAICHU. ALOLAN RAICHU is going to be shielding up the X-Scissor and should comfortably be able to make it to 2 Thunder Punches here. Going for Thunder Punch number 1. Golisopod commits the shield. ALOLAN RAICHU makes it to Thunder Punch number 2, and that will be game over as Thunder Punch takes down Golisopod and secures the win. We see a core breaker on the lead in the next match, Miltank into Escavalier. We're going to see a pivot into the ALOLAN RAICHU, and Escavalier not run too frequently anymore, but is definitely a bit of an issue for this particular team. Escav will go for the Drill Run. RAICHU farming up to the back-to-back Thunder Punches, but a very nice catch from the opponent, catching the Thunder Punch onto Ampharos. Now we have the battle of Volt Switch users. RAICHU able to strike first, going for the Psychic, and inflict big damage onto the Ampharos. Ampharos over farming, and this brutal swing, we're gonna have to see. Oh, we see the shield from the Raichu. Raichu winning CMP over the Ampharos. Raichu has given up both shields in this match. Ampharos shields, but unfortunately, the Ampharos is able to withstand the 1 HP of damage and still connect with the brutal swing. In comes Deoxys to get the farm down. Deoxys now with an energy lead. In the back, it is Pidgeot. Farming up with the Deoxys, going for the Thunderbolt, but losing CMP to the Pidgeot. Pidgeot going for the Feather Dance, wanting to reduce the amount of damage that this Thunderbolt does. Thunderbolt, now that it's debuffed, will be no-shielded, and once the switch into the Miltank occurs, that of course means Escav will return to the field. A nice catch onto the Miltank as Pidgeot did full send the Brave Bird, but now Miltank is going to have to deal with a very healthy Escavalier. Miltank continuing to farm, going for the Body Slam. Body Slam not going to be enough to KO here. We are going to see a shield from the Escav in case the Miltank was running Thunderbolt. Miltank makes another move, but Body Slam, as we've seen, not going to be enough to KO. Escav gets a massive farm down, and this unfortunately will be game over by virtue of a Mega Horn, and down goes Deoxys. We see a familiar lead in the next match, Miltank into ALOLAN Sandslash, but of course this one is not the Shadow. Going to stay in with the Miltank, as of course Miltank, thanks to that normal typing, makes the Shadow Claws do absolutely nothing. Sandslash will strike first, going for the Ice Punch. In neutral matchups, you do typically want to go for the Drill Run. Even though it doesn't get stabbed, it's just a much better move. Miltank goes for the Body Slam. Unfortunately, no shield from the Sandslash. And now that the Body Slam has been thrown, Sandslash should have a pretty good idea that Miltank is not running Thunderbolt. Miltank still choosing to overfarm here, fire off the Body Slam, and we see again a no shield from the Sandslash. Sandslash overfarming, continuing to spam out charge moves here. Now we do see the Drill Run, aggressive pivot into the Deoxys. Deoxys dealing massive damage. Opponent going to bank energy on the Sandslash and send in Clefable. Clefable does have a winning matchup versus Deoxys, but the opponent did give Deoxys a pretty big energy head start, and Clefable is going to commit the first shield of the match. We see the no shield from Deoxys. Moonblast will not be enough to KO here. Deoxys able to withstand that damage, although now it is potentially in Meteor Mash range from the second charge move here. Continuing to farm up with the Deoxys, going for the Psycho Boost, just looking for as much chip damage as possible onto Clefable. Clefable is going to let that through, but the combo play back into the Miltank, very nicely done, and that is going to snipe the Clefable. In comes the A-Slash, A-Slash left with energy, and they use it here. Going for the Ice Punch. Ice Punch does not KO. Miltank able to hang on with 1 HP. Going for the Body Slam. Body Slam ends up being caught onto Shadow Charizard. In comes ALOLAN Raichu, and the opponent concedes the match. Picking up a positive lead in the next match, Miltank into Pidgeot. Honestly, the entire team does pretty well into Pidgeot. Miltank going to fire off the Body Slam. Could have built up to the Ice Beam, but wanting to get some damage before a potential debuff from the Pidgeot. Very nice move timing by the Pidgeot as they're firing off the charge move, and we see it is the Feather Dance. Immediate pivot into Deoxys, saving energy on the Miltank for later. Even if this is the Brave Bird, Deoxys is able to tank it. Pidgeot debuffs with the Feather Dance, and now they send in Giratina. Honestly, a bit of a misplay by the opponent there, as they very easily could have banked the energy on Pidgeot and sent in Tina, as even without a debuff, this is still a very convincing win for the Tina. Tina is going to fire off the Ancient Power, hoping for a boost, and the boost does not arrive. Deoxys at the back-to-back Psycho Boost here, but of course is heavily debuffed here. Going for the first Psycho Boost, that does absolutely nothing. Going for another Psycho Boost, and now we see an aggressive pivot back into the Miltank. Miltank stored energy from earlier, and now trying to make Giratina pay. Opponent sends in Virizion, but Virizion will be met with the Ice Beam. Ice Beam deals some solid damage to the Virizion. Miltank farming up, trying to make it to another Ice Beam. Not quite able to get there. Sacred Sword will KO the Miltank, and now this Virizion is going to be difficult to get rid of. Sending in the Deoxys. Deoxys will get outpaced, and now Raichu, which has done a pretty good job of core breaking teams, is now in a position where it itself is being core broken, as there's a Virizion and a Giratina, neither of which is going to be easy for Raichu to get rid of. In comes the Raichu. Raichu is going to be shielding up the Leaf Blade. Leaf Blade would deal some solid chip damage. Opponent sends in the Giratina. Giratina will be met with the Psychic. This will hit for some solid neutral damage. Giratina lets it go on the CMP tie. This Giratina is not running Shadow Sneak, but unfortunately, I don't think that's going to matter as they're going to make it to another charge move here, and Raichu just in a very difficult position. Raichu goes for the farm down, but it's a simultaneous KO, and Deoxys just runs out of HP. Picking up a tough lead in the next match, Miltank into Shadow Swampert. Swampert is a bit of a core breaker for this team, as Swampert can do pretty well against the Raichu as well. Overfarming quite a bit with the Miltank, the rollout's doing virtually no damage, but Miltank will be able to outpace the Swampert and inflict quite a lot of pressure with the body slams. We're going to see a no shield as Swampert returns fire with the Hydro Cannon and going for body slam number 2. This will not KO, but it will definitely get that Swampert into potential counter down range for the Deoxys. Opponent playing to the CMP tie, which they win. Hydro Cannon is going to get the Miltank low, but the Miltank able to withstand that damage, make another body slam, and actually grab a shield from the Swampert, and Swampert tries to go for the farm down. XL Miltank stealing the show, taking both shields from the Swampert, and this should set up ALOLAN Raichu to sweep. Hydro Cannon will be no-shielded by the Deoxys. They have another move. Again, a no-shield from the Deoxys, putting faith into the ALOLAN Raichu. Opponent sends in Galarian Weezing into a loaded Psycho Boost. That's going to hit for quite a lot of damage. In comes the Raichu. Raichu farming up, committing the shield as Brutal Swing would do a lot of damage onto the Raichu. Raichu going for the Thunder Punch right away. Just looking to get chip damage onto the Weezing. Weezing able to withstand that with 1 HP remaining and force the final shield. That is very unfortunate. Opponent still has the Swampert, but the Swampert has rapidly diminishing HP here. Opponent sends in the Swampert. They don't make the move. In the back, it's a Shadow Charizard, and it's a Raichu 1v3. Raichu goes for the Thunder Punch. Big damage onto the Charizard, and that's a good game. Hopping into the final match, we see on the lead one more time, it's a Shadow A-Slash. Oh, but this is actually running Powder Snow. That is a lot worse for Miltank. Some unfortunate lag there, but it doesn't look like Miltank lost any turns, as the A-Slash did throw with good timing. But this being Powder Snow does change the math quite a bit for this particular matchup, because with Powder Snow, A-Slash can actually deal fast move pressure here. Miltank going to fire off Body Slam after Body Slam in this matchup, as A-Slash continues to launch charge moves itself. But A-Slash definitely winning the war of attrition here. We now see a save switch into Deoxys. Deoxys will be answered with Golisopod. Golisopod is running X-Scissor. X-Scissor will immediately be fired at the Deoxys, dealing some very solid chip damage. Farming up with the Deoxys, going for the Thunderbolt. This will hit for a lot of damage. We do see a no shield from the Golisopod. Deoxys continuing to farm, going for the Psycho Boost, losing CMP to the Golisopod. But this X-Scissor will not KO. XL Deoxys is famously tanky, able to withstand that damage, fire off the Psycho Boost, and Psycho Boost will be lethal. In the back, oh no, it's a Giratina. And that is incredibly unfortunate. Last time this team was seen, they had Tapu Fini in the back, and that would have worked perfectly for the Raichu, whereas Raichu is unfortunately in absolute shambles going up against Giratina. Firing off the Psychic, Giratina lets that go, but unfortunately, I'm still just not seeing a win con for the Raichu in this moment. Dragon Claw will be shielded. Opponent sends in the Sand Slash, bringing in the Miltank, but honestly, all the Sand Slash has to do is just farm down the Miltank, leave with the Drill Run, and the game will be over. And unfortunately, that's exactly what they do. Raichu does win CMP with the Thunder Punch, but unfortunately, Sand Slash has the shield remaining, and that will be game over. All in all, I think that XL ALOLAN Raichu is a really unique combination of a spice pick that also has some pretty decent anti-meta play as well. It of course does have its negative matchups up against Giratina. It can't really do much of anything, but in a meta where there's a lot of stuff weak to electric at the moment, and on top of that, fully walling defense Deoxys' typical moveset in the Ultra League, it feels like XL ALOLAN Raichu does have some interesting anti-meta play. There are definitely stronger Pokemon that you can use, but I think ALOLAN Raichu is a pretty solid anti-meta option. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. If you're enjoying the content, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. And a special thank you as always to our members here on YouTube. The support you guys provide is absolutely incredible. So thank you guys oh so very much. And until next time, I've been HomeSliceHenry.